Welcome, Jinkies family, to this transmission of 43rd Jinki, the key of Epiphany, the key of insights. One of the very special Jinki. Right now, I'm in Nepal. We're back in Kathmandu. I'm facing the Buddha Stupa, and yesterday was a very special day. It was a day when Buddha descended on the earth. And in fact, it was a day when also 43rd Jinki came into the energy field, and we are discussing this here right now. And the programming partner is 23rd Jinki. So let's discover how they work. And 43rd Jinki is the shadow of deafness, the gift of insights, and the Siddhi of Epiphany. The 23rd Jinki is shadow of complexity, gift of simplicity, and Siddhi of quintessence. And what's also more interesting about this key is that together they create a channel in human design, like an energy system. Channel, it's connection between two jinkies. They create one kind of vortex of how energy works through this electromagnet. And the channel connects two different chakras or centers together. So 43rd is in an Ajna chakra, 23rd in a throat. 43rd Ajna is responsible for how we think, how we use our mental process, basically. And 23rd throat is helps to express this into the world, either through insights and simplicity, if we have any gifts, and then the insights we share is simple, and we can explain them in a simple way, and people can do them and really receive. But in the shadow, it's first of all, it's deafness, so we can't even receive an insight because with deafness, we can't listen to ourselves. And then, of course, complexity makes everything very complex in our life. And also was interesting about this key that it's in an individual group of channels, keys that it's all about the rhythm. It's all about the right moment. The individual energy is never here to be accepted by everybody. It's here to bring mutation. It's here to bring transformation. It's here to bring something new that was not discovered before. And when mutation happened in the right moment, or like when we share, let's say, our insights in the right moment and time, that creates mutation. But if we share our insights in the wrong moment, that's create the opposite effect. And people will think we're weird and will reject us, because 43rd Jinki, it's like either it's somebody very weird and nobody understands this person, or this person is a genius. So let's say kind of two polarities of the same energy. Depends on which quality we live in the skin, which frequency, and how we're expressing ourselves. And this key is a key genius. This key would help us to bring these insights, or let's say to channel things, the modern world of this insights channeling, when we bring new, when we channel, when we're in connection with divine, and through us, the divine, the wisdom can speak, the divine guidance can speak, and we can share this with the world and bring something new. For example, Rahul, a creator of human design, he had this channel 4323. So he kind of channeled this the human design, and then I would say it was both complexity and simplicity, because if you read the origin book, 364 lines, it's very complex. You need to be genius to understand it. But if you understand, if you get it, then you really get it. And then it's like, oh, this matrix of numbers and everything. For you, it's like then a language you can use. In fact, I started this journey a long time ago from human design, but then I switched to Jinkies because I found them more familiar to my soul and more speaking the language of heart and giving the actual transmission of frequencies and the possibility to shift from shadow to gift and to Siddhi. When in human design, we don't use the shadow, gift, and Siddhi. There's just one kind of quality, and there is no possibility, there's no explanation of different frequencies. So any case, because we are in the transmission of Jinkies, so let's discover the Jinkies. And again, as I said, the shadow is deafness, the gift of insights, and the Siddhi of Epiphany. What is the magic holds in the scheme, the cordon ring of destiny, 43rd and 34th gene keys together. And of course, we have a tea today for our transmission. This is like red puer, and look, it's very beautiful leaves. It's like a buds. And so I'm gonna now also prepare a tea while I'm sharing this with them. So 43rd, let's say that on the shadow of deafness, we just absolutely blind and deaf to ourselves. We not understand who we are, our soul, and we always makes ourselves busy. When you are in this shadow, if you wake up in the morning and you don't know what to do during the day, you don't have a plan, you go into like anxiety and you worry. The shadow creates anxiety. It creates worries about the future, about the plans, about how everything will go, because it thinks like it needs to know, and if it doesn't know, it can collapse. When in fact this key is teaching us to rest in the unknown and to see that when we rest in the stillness and we create gaps and pauses into our life, within these pauses, within these moments of gaps, this is where insights happening and breakthroughs happening. Because if we don't have these pauses, then the life is just getting more complex. But because we're always in our mind, so we need to find the space. We need to kind of cultivate these gaps. We can't create insight or epiphany, but we can create a container for them to come into our life. And this container will be created through the pauses, through the moments when we just rest and we don't go straight away in our social media or other. Life also gives us pauses, a moment without action, a moment when we don't need to solve something, a moment when we're just here, present, can we just be without needing to straight away fulfill these gaps for something, because the shadow is never can just be in the moment, in the stillness. It needs to fulfill the gap. That's create a lot of stress and anxiety, because then you can never listen to yourself because you're always busy with all the thoughts and ideas that's in your mind. And so let's just listen to ourselves, to our body right now in this moment, and see how much, in fact, we can be still. That's why I love tea ceremonies, and I love them in the morning, because this is a pauses for me in my life when I can be still, when I don't turn my phone straight away and look for the messages and everything, when I just have time for myself and for contemplations and these pauses. A lot of things they came to my life, that were channeled, in fact, were coming through these breaks. Because it's something you cultivate, especially, for example, when I do tea ceremony and I be careful with every action and bring mindfulness into every action. And that itself create already this moment, this pause for the breakthrough to come. This is the key of breakthroughs. So this week, in fact, for us is to create the breakthroughs, is to change something in our life. And breakthrough is not something, again, we can make. We can just invite the stillness into our life and invite epiphany by having these gaps, these moments of stillness and pausing. And let's see as well how it works deeper. While we have in this moment of stillness, can we just be still, in fact? Or we need to think, or we need to, again, took our phone and social media and do something. This is kind of the common shadow of society. We all get in a deafness. And the world is just trying to make us more deaf, because there's a lot of information. There is a lot what's going on social media that gives us kind of entertainment, but making us being further away from ourselves. So in fact, through this key, we can discover the power of simplicity, because when the real insight come into your life, you're realizing that everything is so simple. You know, there was some experience, and in fact, I wanted to share, but I felt I'll share later when we go come to the gift, because it's something that's happened really recently here for me that can represent this jinky and the Siddhi. But let's first again more first discover this uncomfortable deafness and what does it mean. This person in the shadow of deafness would always try to satisfy others, to follow somebody else's dream, either it's parents or society, or for example, even your partner. If you're not connected with yourself and you just follow somebody else's agenda, it will always make you outside of your own center, because this shadow, most of it, it's afraid just to listen to this inner voice. When we're in the shadow, the inner voice is like fully blocked. You can't access it. Even if you try, you just hear these like this mental obsession, and you can think there's all your thoughts is your insights, but not, because insights, it's like, call it epiphany, or like satori, sort of, not satori, these moments of like and you have this. And when insight is calm, it's something that we listen and we follow. But when we don't have them, and we try, for example, to figure out our life, to create a plan, to think what we're going to do, how we're going to earn money, or where we're going to live, or whatever, any questions. And if we try to approach this through our mind, it's already a disaster, because the mind never know an answer. The mind, the only thing it can do is can make you even further away from the real answer and from the real truth that you're in. And when truth comes, it's not always comfortable for your ego, for your personality, or the stories or the life you already created around you, but it's something that you have to follow. You know, the metaphor or kind of the archetype for this 40th jinki is a fool in a tarot system. And the fool is, it's like a 0 and 22nd arcana at the same time, the energy. It's the beginning and the end. And the fool is somebody who looks like a stupid, because he's dancing on at the edge of the cliff, on his one, stepping off his one foot, and another feet is in the sky, and there is a dog that's biting him also. But if you look at him, you will realize it. He's laughing, he's smiling. It's not that like he's about to fall off. In fact, he's dancing because he's know that life is nothing about seriousness. Life is a game and a joy. When you always connect with a known, then you don't have fear anymore. This key can help us to release the fears. This key can help us to transmute this like fear and darkness in our system. Can really bring us back into this, let's say, not a childhood, but like a child behavior, when we are when we trust the life again, when we can be full, when we can be simple. Because if you look at the child knows on how to play in the first before it came to school, or like preparation for the school. It's here just to play and explore, and it doesn't try to make life serious. It knows that it's all just simplicity, simple game, simple life. But of course, we grow up and we can't be just the kids, because we also have responsibilities. We, for example, build in our careers, or we already have families and all these things. But it's still important to keep this innocence within, this like childness, this joy, this simplicity, because without that, let's say, world will be fucked, because it's just all serious people who all disconnect from themselves, and like just like in absolute blindness and deafness, go into the deathbed slowly or fast, but without ever feeling the real fulfillment that comes not from owning a lot of like goods or whatever, owning anything, but in fact it comes from the simple joy in your heart when you are yourself, you connect with yourself. I remember when first time in my life, I would say connected with myself, and I felt this deep feeling in my heart, in the center of my chest. It's like, oh, this is me. And this feeling that was better than anything, because it's just this like pure simplicity and joy just to be me. And when I'm in this center, that means also I'm in connection with God at the same time, because this is the truth. It's not a mask. There's not a somebody or some role I try to play. In fact, it's free of any roles. That's why it's a fool. It can be anything. It doesn't care about what people will think about it, the fool. But they think that he's stupid or he's genius or whatever. He is in absolute connection with the mystery of life. This kid is a mystic kid. It's here to bring mystery in our life, and mystery is a dance with unknown in each and every second. It's never predictable. It's never planned. What this Jinky is saying, you can't plan your life. Of course, like you can plan a meeting with your friend for a coffee or something else, but if you really want to embrace this key, you need to be ready always for breakthroughs that will change your life and can change the direction of your life. You might be sure that you go in one direction, but then boom, a moment of insights or epiphany and breakthrough, and you go into absolutely another direction. And we might think like, oh, it's like our life changed our destiny, but in fact, it was already planned. Even this change, even this moment of, let's say, changing the timelines was already planned. And the person who changed timelines in my life 7 times, I can say it for sure that it's like unpredictable dance with an oven. But when you receive this insight, and it's like a wisdom downloading into your cells, then you have to act accordingly no matter what. Because if you don't, if you let the fear step over, then you forever will be stuck into deafness, living somebody else's life, somebody else's dream, but never your own. And then never any success, any material values, nothing would ever fulfill this void and this feeling of deep not satisfaction. In fact, if we look at the codon ring 43rd and 34th Jinki, 34th is the one it's what in fact creates a generator. It's like this sparkle of energy that's saying, oh, I have energy to go into the direction. And it doesn't explain why. It's either yes or no in your blood again, in your cells. It doesn't care about, again, how other people will think about me. It doesn't care to lose anybody. It's really very authentic, and it's here just to live its truth. And through this, it's like self-empowering, and then it's becoming an example. It's a leader who's not leading by telling others what to do, but who's just radiating this strength, this power, this kind of insights, and people want to follow because they just feel it. They feel there's something special here. And why I was saying about 34th Jinki, because if a generator doesn't follow this like energy within, that's either say yes or no to something without explanation, but simply saying if my energy is available for this or not available. And if the generator is doing something that the energy says not within, but doing because like the mind, the stories, whatever, it will always end up in frustration. That can create eventual depression. And with the shadow of deafness, you can see how it works. We don't listen to ourselves. We just do what we have to do. And then we just slowly kind of destroy ourselves, because every time we act against our nature, it's kind of, we throw our potential away. Let's imagine like you have like a ball of energy, and every time you act against your soul, piece of this energy you throw away, and it will never come back to you. It's like your life potential. And if you throw it away, then you just have less, and you can't gain it back. That's why, in fact, not follow your core or your soul is dangerous. Because even if you have, as a success, later on, all this frustration that you accumulated in your system will show up as diseases, will show up as something you have to face, and you'll have to spend money to cure these things because you're just lying to yourself all the time. And the most sad thing is that a lot of people in our earth still, they just okay with it. They just think that this is how life is. It. Our parents, for example, or generation before that, because it's just like everybody doing this, but not everybody. And kind of, I'm sure also people who listening to this, they are the people also this showing by examples that there is a different life possible. But it takes the courage. You know what the photos of Jinki? It's the seed of this Jinki heals the rejection wound. The fourth seal, core wound of humanity, rejection. That means if you want to become a genius of your life, you have to face the rejection, the fear of rejection. You have to face the fear of not being accepted. You have to face the fear of being proud and being weird and not understood. And only if you face it and you break through, that's why it's breakthrough, then you're unstoppable and nothing ever can pull you down. Because you know that your job is to keep this fire, this spark in your heart alive, no matter what. No matter of like what family's relationship with my relatives or like my partner will not accept me there. Because if something is not aligned in your life, okay, fine, let it go. What needs to be aligned there also, and will go through transformations. It's even if it's your parents or partner or brother, sister, or kids, anybody else. It's better you follow your truth, and your truth creates mutation around you, and that mutation gives a chance to somebody to awaken. Then you lie to yourself and you lie and to others, and these lies just create a more shadow that keeps everything in the illusion, because then there is no even chance for awakening. And that's why this key is important. That's why this key is, in fact, I said, is the one who heals the core wound of rejection, one of the major core wounds of humanity. And people will see the resonance of the lines. The rejection is the fourth line, and it's connected by resonance with the first line of oppression. So first we oppress ourselves, we oppress what we feel, we oppress the truth, because how this line connected, we're afraid to be rejected. We're afraid if we say no to something, or somebody, like we will lose something, or the people won't accept it. But what I would say, it's so big, because somebody cannot accept it, it means it's not your people. Even if it's somebody who's really close to, even if it's your family, it doesn't mean you have to like be super radical, but you can just simply expressing the truth. And you know, it was time in my life when I was in a way fighting with my family for the right to be myself. When I was saying I will do the human design, I will earn money like this and all these things. And yeah, it took me years, not years, sorry, in fact, it not took years. It took, let's say, a couple of years to say become professional in human design and earn big money from that. But before that, yeah, I had to face rejection and everything, but I was not care, because I knew that I'm here to fulfill this call in my heart, this fire in my heart, to make it alive. And if somebody cannot accept me for this and they think I'm stupid or like I'm just wasting my lifetime, okay, whatever. And of course, after time, things changed. And for example, I'll speak for my parents, they found acceptance and of my past, but it took them time. But I knew that I would not give up. I knew that there is a different life than just working 5 to in the office. Of course, I'm not saying people who like it. So I know that people who love their jobs and everything, and it's also their mission. It's fine. I'm saying more to the people who who know, sorry, that they do not what they want, but they still keep doing it for any whatever reasons. And then because life then just get harder, because for example, then you have kids and you need to provide for them, and you can't leave your job because it feeds you, and then it's even harder. But again, it's another story, because I know situations when I have a long time ago, I have a woman who came to my human design session. It was summer, and we met in a park because we wanted to like also be around the nature. And she came with 2 kids, and she didn't tell me she will be with the kids. And one boy was like maybe 4 or something, and one boy was just small, was like 1 year, she was still breastfeeding them. And she told me like, oh, I'm sorry, like I didn't tell you. I was just afraid that like you will not like accept me, because she was waiting like more than a month for the session, because the schedule was very booked. And I told her like, whatever, of course we're gonna do this. She just explained that she was going through divorce, and she was in absolutely like kind of 0 point in her life, but she came to him for the session to understand more who she is, and now she's herself. She's working with people like energy worker. She learned some programs, some courses. She developed also abilities, and she's now very confident, and she's in a new beautiful relationship and all the things. But years ago, let's say she was broken, but that was a breakthrough for her. And she did found a time to came with 2 kids, and the session was like 4 hours. I'm giving long sessions, but it was amazing. And wherever people may say, oh, I don't have time, I'm super busy, I don't believe it, because I know when people need, they will wake up at 4 a.m. They will come with their kids if it's needed. If you really need something, nothing will stop you. And if you found excuses, it means you just didn't choose it. You just didn't choose this fire in your heart or something else. It means if you really want something, but you're not doing actions towards it, it means your fear is stronger than this fire in your heart. And it means that you need to activate this fire. Otherwise, the fears will just take you down. Or maybe your dream, what you think is not your real dream, and you just also lie to yourself. But we're saying when you really need something, you won't find excuses. You will do anything possible, because when you start to come out of this deafness, this kind of covers everything, and you started to hear the first moments of these insights, when you start to hear how the soul is speaking to you, that's becoming the most valuable things in your life. And you want to cultivate more space in your life for this. And you want to listen, because every time you listen to subtle voice, because in the beginning it's very subtle, it's like so subtle, so like almost invisible. But when you start to first listen to it and follow and act what this voice is telling you, you recreate, you like reprogram yourself, your cells, that your system is more and more open into this, and you start to create pathway through from this out, sort of this deafness, out of the shadow, back to yourself. And then you become in this like pioneer, let's say. That's why I said this key is a breakthrough. If you want to activate your genius, in fact, if you look at activation sequences, there are first 2 keys, life's work and evolution. There are pathways of keys, and there are second 2 keys in activation sequence. It's radiance and purpose. So when you come in from evolution to the radiance, from consciousness to subconsciousness, there is a pathway there that determined by Fortis or Jinki. So if you want to become genius, you have to face the fear of rejection. And you have to accept the truth to a point that when you feel this call in your heart, it's coming like this. I will do this even if everybody will reject me, and I will stay alone, like in front of all crowd when people reject me. But I trust this fire in my heart and this message, and I will follow it no matter what, even if everybody will reject me and nobody ever will accept me. When you found this spot, like this kind of fire, let's say, and this courage in your life, in your system, then really nothing after that can stop you. Then you claim in your authority back. Before that, you live in the shadow. Before that, you live in somebody else's dreams and idea. Before that, you're not truly yourself. Because if you were not ready to face the fear of rejection, that means that this fear will control all your life. you will just be not aware of it absolutely, but slowly, here and there, it will take your energy, it will drain you, and it will not allow you to face the discomfort. It will not allow you to create something that is genius. That's maybe you'll need to first make thousands of mistakes, but you still follow this fire because you know that this is important for you. So this key is as can create for us like absolutely magical life in a shadow, in a way can destroy us to a point of that we just end up kind of in depression. Yes, so this was the shadow journal, and we'll come soon to the gift. Just contemplate into this and feel if there's any areas in your life where this fear of rejection stops you. Because it's rooted, it's ancestral fear. It's rooted because when we were living in the tribes, to be rejected from tribe was the death, was equal to death. Because if you're rejected from a tribe and you go like in the forest, in the nature, then you either can be killed by another tribe or by animals. So to be alone, to be rejected from the tribe was equal to death. So that's why you have to go really deep into the roots and reprogram these fears and to understand that nowadays it's safe, in fact, to be yourself. This is why you're here for. And if you're not yourself, this is what is really dangerous, because you want to be yourself. So we continue with the gift of insight. What is this amazing gift of insight in this very dark, deep world? I'm looking to drink right now. It smells like a heaven.
Had for so long.
Like this tea will bring the insights in our life. So insight happens in the caps moment. Insight happens in the I'm sorry, but insight happens in these gaps where we face the unknown, where we don't try to make life follow our plan and our knowledge, but in fact, when we let go of the knowledge, that's what this key is asking us for, to let go of the knowledge, to let go that part of us that try to create a plan for everything, and to be ready for insights to come, and to be ready for insights, way to take over. In Japan tradition, they call it satori. These moments of breakthroughs. And when you receive a satori, that's like a knowledge, not a knowledge, it's like a message, let's say, that downloaded straight into your DNA, into your cells level, and it changes you through within out. It can change some deep patterns in your system, some deeper programming. It can bring you this purpose, but then you will have to follow this insight, because the moment when you receive this insight of satori, it was like suddenly going into higher mind or like high level of consciousness. But then you, let's say, grounding back into the earth, and you need to keep this vision, this what you received in your heart, in your system, and start to make actions and literally build this on the earth, build this in a physical life. That's what I'm always explaining. In fact, that's what I'm teaching people on the creator codes, how to do this, how to bring this into the matter, how to create this in your physical reality. That's what creator codes here for. And if you never heard about the system, is welcome to check on my website. It's amazing system that really give you all you need to start really being creative of your life. And so on this note, let's discover more this gift of insights. When your mind is still and silent and you're able to listen to your soul and you're receiving these messages, you start following them. Then you create something new that's become unstoppable. It's like training a muscle. A muscle that knows that when you act towards your dream is opening towards you. When you act towards your dream, every day, it changes the structure in your system. It's changing kind of your cells. You bring in the light, you encoding this in your DNA. And in a way, we're here to, let's say, create miracle on the earth, heaven on the earth. But for this, we are the vessels, so we have to use our capacities and abilities to make it happen, not waiting for the miracle to come, but do this. And whatever is your insights is telling you, you're creating a space for them. You're learning to be in the pauses, in these gaps, with unknowing, with uncertainty, to relax into that. And then you are receiving these gifts, and your life is a miracle where it becomes simple, because if you're in a deafness, you're also in a shadow of complexity. Remember this connection with 23rd Jinki. It means that your mind is everywhere seeing a problem and it doesn't know how to solve, and it's just making everything more complex. When the solution is so simple and it's right here, but you do everything else just not to face this solution. Because when you face it, then there's no more complexity. And there are some people who they just enjoy when life is complex. That's what the mind needs. They always solve things instead of just acting from the simplicity. It's like Zen. It's a Zen way. And it's when we follow this gift, we claim our authority back. Then the same energy that in a shadow level was representing the deafness, and like that our ears, let's say our awareness, attention was going always outside and never inside. So then when you come into the gift, it creates a reverse. When your system is focused only on within, only on the truth within, you kind of becoming deaf to the outside world. What do I mean? Not that you just absolutely not hear anything or like ignorant. No, it means that you becoming deaf to other people's opinion or what they think about you or whatever. The more you connect with this fire within, you light it up, you let it burn, the more you follow it, no matter what. And you deaf, the same power that's in a shadow will bring you down, and a gift becomes a power that helps you rise. And you then just rising and rising more and more. And you are becoming this living miracle. And in fact, then, yes, you can trigger people sometimes. In fact, this key is very provocative and very uncomfortable for people who stuck in their shadows and lower mentality, because it's like a fool. It's like a one who already connected with wisdom of life. So it's here to provoke. It's here to make you see yourself. It's here to make you see how stuck you are. It's here to make you see how deaf you are. It's here to make you face this uncomfortable truth so you can finally wake up. This key, when somebody is embodied the gift and Siddhi of this key, the most uncomfortable people for society. Because in fact, they are here to break through. They're not for everybody. They are here for those who are ready to break through. And because of this gift, it starts kind of to protect these people for all these opinions, from all this noise. Because in the shadow, you focus only on the noise of your own shadows, your mind, and noise of around you. When you're in a gift, it's like your system, your brain changes. It cuts off all the noise. You hear only the God within you and follow it no matter what. And then you become very uncomfortable. But because you already went through this fear of rejection, you in a way don't care, in a good way, not of ignorant way. You just creating the path. And yes, you're here then to provoke. You're here to provoke those who are kind of sleeping in their illusions, and who kind of ready to wake up, ready for awakening, but for some reasons not choosing it. So in fact, you're here. It's like, you become like this, like in Matrix, the one who comes to help those who ready to break through, who ready to awake from the Matrix. So you become like this agent of evolution in a way. You, in a way, let's say, it's not that you're really going against something, but in a way if I would say in terms of like normal, you just your life has become an example of a different life and different lifestyle. And yes, you become uncomfortable and you don't have problem with it. You don't have problem to trigger others. You don't have problem to activate a fire. You don't have problem to make somebody be angry with you, because they don't angry with you, they angry with themselves. They're angry because they know deep inside how much they stuck and afraid of choose the truth in their freedom once and forever, because they took care of the stories in their mind and stories of others instead of putting the God and truth in the first place. So in fact, yeah, you become here this agent of revolution, this person who activates a fire, and the fire is here to burn the illusion. The fire is here to bring the truth. The fire is here to activate and to awake. And this is why this is a path of mystic, because you're not afraid of fire anymore. You're not afraid of rejection. You are just the truth itself. And what is also beautiful about this key is that it's really helping us to just be who we are without adding anything. It said that we already have this equipment that we need. We don't need to try to be anybody else and look for others or their Instagram or whatever. And this beautiful example is given here, for example, the cheetah, the fastest animal. And it's created specially for being able to run, to jump, like to be very fast and kill very fast and have really like strong, flexible spine. It's designed in this way. And it doesn't have other abilities. For example, it's not so good in seeing in the darkness, but there are lion who's designed differently. They designed to hunt in the nights. Most of the time they hunt in the night, so they have very good vision in the nights, but they're not so fast as a cheetah because they design is differently. And if cheetah tries to be lion and lion tries to be cheetah, they will just fail. That's what this key is saying. You already have all you need to be you. Don't try to be anybody else. You don't need to like develop qualities, for example, that's not about you just because others have them. You need, in fact, to invest in what's strong inside of you. You need to fully activate your gifts, because it's like if you're a cheetah, you came here to be a cheetah. And then to worry that, oh, but I don't have this night vision and I'm not so good in the hunting in the nights. Yeah, because you're not meant for this. When you are doing what you're meant for, you need qualities that you have. And for this, you need to let go of this noise. And the more you're really grounded in the truth and of who you need to be, the more you see how life supports us, how everything is flowing. The more you're doing this action, the more you're choosing who you truly are, not who you think you need to be, or what the society tells you, or your parents, or your family, or your partner, or your friends, or anybody else. Because in fact, the more you embody this frequency of your soul, the more you attract right people who are here to support you, sometimes maybe provoke you, but who are becoming a part of your destiny, because it's a codon ring of destiny, who becoming a part of your destiny and your evolution. So why this gift, in fact, is extremely important, because it's showing you how to be yourself without any adding layers. In fact, this gift helps to let go all the layers that have been added up while you were growing up, while you've been a kid, all the layers of conditioning from ancestor. This key helps to let it go fully and just be who you are. I said, if you cheetah, you be cheetah. If you lion, you be lion. If you eagle, you be eagle. You just be who you are. That's the beauty of this key. And when you are who you are, magically your problems just gone because you're embodying your dharma and you're here for this. And then the more you act, the more life supports you. The more doors are opening, the more blessings are coming. Doesn't mean that it's always going to be easy, because sometimes you still can face some challenges of your inner conditioning, your fears and whatever. But when you're ready to face it, you're making this breakthrough. You know, because it's a breakthrough. Breakthrough. What is a breakthrough? How breakthrough happening? There is a series first of subtle mutations in your system from time to time. They accumulating through a certain period of time, and at some point, it's coming to a kind of a point of no return. And when the breakthrough happening, it's changing your frequency and in signal in your DNA once and forever. After breakthrough, the real breakthrough, you can't go back, because your personality, your old personality, is not existing. So there is no going back, because there is nobody to go back to the old kind of self, to the old condition. That's why it's a breakthrough. Or if you not choose breakthrough, when life is offering this to you, you go into breakdown. That means you go even deeper into the shadows. So we always have a choice in our life. That's why this key, it takes a lot of courage. That's why I'm a representation of fool, because fools know that it's all a joke. It's all a game. It's all a mysterious game where there's nothing serious. Again, doesn't mean ignorant, doesn't mean it's like, oh, no, responsible, whatever, I can do anything, we'll go kill somebody. No, it's not about this. The fool is embodying the wisdom. It's playfulness, but it's groundness. Because when the fool is standing like on the one foot on the, like at the edge of the cliff, it's the fool is embodying this like flexibility and strength. Fool knows it won't fall off. It's just playing. That's what this key is. It's here to provoke. It's here to make others doubt their beliefs, doubt their life. It's like their patterns, doubt that what conditioning that they believe in is real. Yes, this key is here. In fact, when you embody the gift of this key, you're here to make others uncomfortable, those who sleep in their illusions. That's in a way becoming your mission. That's why I said you are here to, first of all, to embody this energy. You need to overcome the fear of rejection, because you will be rejected so many times. But you don't afraid of it and you don't care. You just follow, because you are an engine of evolution. You came here to awake others from matrix, those who are ready, not to make them sleep more comfortable. And when you know it inside yourself and you follow it, you just don't afraid anymore. There's no any more fear in your system. Fear of failure, fear of, oh, what's not gonna happen, whatever. Your system is not operating on this level anymore. It's done. It's done forever. That's a blessing of this key. So now, even if you know, before when it came to Siddhi, you just know the shadow and the gift, and you can see how radical different they are. The same frequency, or like the same, let's say, energy that on a shadow level makes you listen to all the noise and not to yourself. The same energy on a gift protects you from all this noise, to a point that you really don't listen. It's like, it's not affecting, it's not going inside your system. You're just like in some, I don't know, field where there is you and God and your devotion to your mission, and nothing else is not disturbed. It can't even come inside you. Imagine living like this. This is already like a big blessing. So this is a gift. So maybe take a moment to reflect on it, to contemplate on this, to feel how you feel, to feel what this fire brings in you. In fact, because I have this jinky in my, see, not in my jinkies, but in human design, but I have it in my profile. So I'm very connected with this key. It's kind of, this key is rebellion in a way. It's the people, they came here to the rebellion, not against something, but just because they're showing the truth. And the truth sometimes is comfortable, but it sets us free. So contemplate on this before we go into the Siddhi level. A Siddhi of this jinki, Epiphany. In fact, this exact Siddhi, the one that heals a core wound of rejection, a force seal in our human DNA. So how does this seal work? How does this energy works? How does Epiphany works and why it heals? In fact, this key is also very Buddhistic, and it's very interesting that to give this transmission right now, I'm literally facing their stupa that you will see later on the photo, the Buddhist stupa, because this CD is showing us that you can't be rejected because there is nobody to be rejected, to reject you, because it's all just one consciousness that experiencing itself through different forms multi-spontaneously. This wound of rejection, that what keeps us separated, that what prevents us from really love each other and create deep trust and intimacy, that what created all these borders, all this fear, all these wars and all these things, because we don't trust, because we afraid of this rejection so much that we try to protect. And in fact, this is also the shadow of deafness is also with a connection with this wound of rejection, that what prevents us from really loving a deep relationship, because of this fear, because you're afraid that if you will be real, if you will be fully yourself, the other person will accept you and love you as you are. Then we try to be somebody else, or we hold some parts of ourselves back, and then we end up either in our own relationship, or at some point we are kind of ready to show ourselves. When we suppressed ourselves so much, then at some point we just feel like it's done and we break in the relationship, or any other patterns. But how also the shadow will play out will say that, oh, like I know everything about this person. It's like it's always tries to know and understand the other person, but it's not ready to meet the mystery, because the mystery can be very frightening. But then the mystery is what opens the real love. When you know that you always face the unknown, that the other person, your partner, is a reflection of God, and through this love, you always meet in a mystery. You always in this dance with unknown. The other person never will be fixed, or just like one kind of something that you think you know and familiar with. It's opposite. It's been already always to love, to find out in each and every moment who is this person next to you, to love every form and variety, and through these, in fact, find all reflection of yourself, reflections that you love and accept about yourself, and reflections that you don't love and don't accept about yourself, but that the trigger, so you can reflect back and give love to these hidden parts within you that search for love, not from outside but from the within. So in fact, this key, the cities, helps us to really love each other, to let go of this fear of rejection that prevents us to open our heart fully to somebody, because in fact it's so deeply rooted in our DNA as just as a human species. We're so much afraid to fully open our heart because we're afraid of the pain of rejection, and because we're afraid to be fully who we are. That's we better choose masks, and we're afraid of love, because the real love is a divine fire that makes you so vulnerable, so naked. You know, there's this poem, Gerald Habrip, Haril or something like this. I don't remember full the name, but it's like about love, and it's very beautiful. Said there that the love is it will crown you and will give you all these blessings. It also will shake your roots. It will make you plain. It will make you naked. And if you search only for the beauty of love, then you will be afraid of the sword that's hidden in the wings of the love. But the sword is to to cut your illusions. I mean, I'm not saying the quote 100%, but it's what I remember. That the sword is to make your heart even more open, naked, and bleeding sometimes, so you can really embody what the love is. And it said, if you're looking only for positive moments or like only the beauty of the love, then you better just leave this path of love at all, and then you will cry, but not with all your tears, and laugh, but not with all your laugh, and laugh, but never fully. And if you not ready, there is something very beautiful about the skin, about love. If you're not ready to give your heart fully to somebody, to the person that you think you love, if you're not ready to give your heart fully, that's how you create a rejection. You need to be ready to give your heart fully no matter what. Because when you do this, you activate such a deep trust, and it's like absolute different frequency in your DNA. Because when you're ready to give your heart fully no matter what, then you know what the love is. Because the love can only give. It's just the love itself. It's a given energy. It doesn't need anything, in fact, in return. Just by giving, the love is fulfilling itself. And that's why human relationships are fucked, honestly, because they just built on this fear of rejection all the time. And honestly, what I would say, not just to say, oh, I'm so great, but just to share from our experience with my partner, and even something that happened today. Like, we face sometimes the deepest fears, and we go into so deep vulnerability, and this vulnerability is what melting the eyes and creating these breakthroughs. When you meet in the love and the God in eyes of other, and you meet in the reflection of yourself, and this is very beautiful and profound, but this is, you're just absolute naked. And in fact, the more you in this kind of relationships, you're just naked all the time. And slowly, slowly, your system is relaxing in this nakedness. You don't anymore need to protect. You don't anymore need to be anybody. In fact, you experience the more you yourself, the more love is flowing effortlessly. And then, when you create such a deep intimacy, you face, you feel in your relationship, and any small little fraction when some fear comes from you or from the partner, you feel it. You feel like something change in energy field, and then you become so sensitive to one another. So you asking, you say, it's not like you like blaming or something. No, you're just asking like what's happened, because you're so sensitive to all the little things that in a way this love is bringing everything on a surface to be purified, whatever is not loved yet. So in a way, your relationship is for the sacred union. Together you serve the God, you serve this love itself, and you are here to always be ready to reflect it. What's else inside of you is not love, and be ready to show it in front of another person, and you know that your love will mysteriously purify everything and will help you ground even deeper in the love, and you'll become then an embodiment of love. And that's an absolute miracle. There's no other words I can put into this, because it's a miracle. It's when you're absolutely naked and you know that there's nothing you need to hide or be anything or anybody, and you're just a servant of love. And the more you serve love, the more love serves you back. Until there is no any more separation between you and beloved. You becoming the one. This is the epiphany. When there is no any more separation between you, beloved, and the love. You experience that it's just all one. It's just the love itself. Then when you know what the epiphany is, and when you become free, when there is no any more fear of rejection stayed in your system.
And that's how, in fact, you serve collective, because the more you liberate yourself from it, the more your system sends another frequency in the collective and changing the collective. So, yeah, the path of love is yeah, for those who brave, because you have to be ready to die every moment. The path of love is not if you want all just beautiful and perfect relationship. It's when you want what is raw and unique and what is real. Then you can stop. Um, you can step into the path of love and let the love guide you. Not when you're saying, "Oh, I have love in my heart," but in fact, when you know that you kind of are in the one heart of love and you then become in it fully. So that's the difference between just relationships and the union, the real sacred union. And in fact, we are birthing something with my beloved to bring more of this frequency into the earth, into the existing, and to help others to embody this to those who are ready. And there was a big, big calling in my heart from long, long time ago. But I had to go through a lot of challenges and transformations to find love within, to find beloved, and to let the love do the alchemy. Yes. And feel to end on this point, let we all be embraced by the grace of love without any fear, knowing that rejection is illusion, because love can never be rejected. Love is all it is. Love is God. It is Epiphany. And you can only die into it. You can only merge with it. You can't become it, because you are it. But you have to let go all the illusions you created that separating you. That's why the divine union is different than just kind of relationships, normal relationship, because in this union, your relationship, your connection is always bringing in the surface these parts that are yet separated from the God, from the truth. But the beauty of it is that then when you really choosing one each other fully and you in absolute devotion and in absolute vulnerability, your love is like at the same time becoming this healing grace, this like sacred growl, and that's what's in a way giving you immortality, because in this love you're immortal. This is the message of this love, of this sacred union, of what this it truly is, and the healing of the wound of rejection. And this key, in fact, the Siddhi is here to one day to absolutely remove the rejection from our DNA. And those who right now, like pioneers, is doing this first kind of job because in a way we're here to do this, so others then can go through this path that's already made, but somebody had to make it first. In fact, there was Jesus showing and saying that there is no rejection, there is love, there is only love, and love is God. And if you can feel it truly in your system, then you're free, because there is nothing can hurt you anymore. So let's just close our eyes and dive into the stillness for a moment to feel the epiphany, the insight that may come through or may not come, but just feeling the presence and the love. Just let these insights come into your body, into your DNA. Restore your frequency, connect you with the divine, bring the right alignment. Remove all the deafness from your system, from your body, so you can truly be you, the way how God created you, the way how God made you, pure and innocent, with that exact qualities, gifts and abilities that you need for this lifetime, for this incarnation, to share with the world, fully embodying it and fully becoming it, and sharing unapologetically, gracefully, with the courage into the world, this passion, this fire in your heart. Let it burn all the dullness, all the pain, all the fear of rejection, so you can fully become you and share the message that God wants to share from you. Be a pure vessel for divine wisdom in each and every moment, with every action, every breath, and every step. Just stay in this frequency how much time you need. Or you can open your eyes when you're ready. Feeling your body. This joy of being alive. This love inside you. That's bigger than any darkness, dullness, or illusion. That is your true nature. So let it be. And see you for the next transmission. Don't skip it. There's a weekly transmission that's in my YouTube channel, and there are a lot of possibilities and opportunities to work with me. If you want to discover your gene keys, or you want to embody more of your gifts and talents and become a real creator of your life, as well as I said, something is interesting and beautiful. We're birthing with my beloved, who is the biggest blessing in my life, I would say. And I'm very happy to share this path of love together. So stay tuned to more mystery to come and unfold.